those 4 elements, and of course for many others. Municipal solid waste contains 10, 100, 1,000 times more of these elements than the soil. That's the reason why we cannot compost municipal solid waste and dig it to the soil. We must pre-treat it. If we incinerate municipal solid waste, basically the concentration does not change much of the bottom edge of the residue. If we treat it mechanically, biologically, we still have basically the same concentration as in municipal solid waste. If we apply a high temperature process to the residue of incineration, then we will make a quantum leap in direction of the earth crust quality. This picture shows you there are certain techniques available to achieve, let's say, earth crust quality, and other means like mechanical biological treatment or incineration alone will not achieve this quality yet. So incineration alone will produce a solid residue which has to be landfilled, which cannot be given to the soil, or which cannot be used as a construction material yet. I already mentioned that incineration is going to be an important process for the future. Incineration is a very old process. Of course, we have now new incinerators. Incineration has a history of more than 110 years. Incineration is, has been a very dirty activity, has transformed into a very clean, and I would like to show this a little bit in the next few slides. The material balance of a modern incinerator shows you that waste is mainly transformed into off-gas. And of course, this off-gas contains a lot of noxious and hazardous substances. Therefore, filter systems, and not just one system, several filter systems are mandatory, and therefore a filter residue will result. The filter residue compared to the input into the plant will be about 2 to 3% according to the filter system and the furnace system. The remaining, maybe 20 to 25%, will be bottom ash. These are the 3 main products, and according to the incineration process, it can also be that you receive wastewater and wastewater sludge. I'll show such an example in just a minute. Let's compare incinerators of 3 time periods, around 1900, around 1970, and around 1990. And the new one, 2008, I would say, are mainly the same as 1990, because the technology in 1990 was absolutely superb, at least in this plant here in Vienna. On the right-hand side, 1990, this is the Vienna Spitalau incinerator. On top you see the actual furnace. And if you look now, if you watch the picture closely, the furnace is painted in red, and the flue gas cleaning in green. And you see that in 1896 there was no flue gas cleaning. In 1970 there was a very small electrostatic precipitator, which usually was after maybe 4 or 5 months. It was completely empty, this box, because corrosion has really destroyed this electrofilter. And on the right-hand side you see 1990, a municipal incinerator consists practically only of air pollution control device. The furnace is actually very small. Of course, this has also some impact on the cost of this technology. I'm not going into the details, but this shows you a modern incinerator, what kind of air pollution control device, the electrostatic precipitator, ESP, or baghouse with alkaline and with neutral, wet scrubbing, with denox, with fine particulates remover, etc., with treatment of wastewater. All these things are included in modern incinerator and the resulting emission of such an incinerator is less than 1 milligram per cubic meter of gas. Less than 1 milligram per cubic meter. This is an incredibly small amount. In Vienna, we just introduced a new power station for biomass, not for waste, for pure wood biomass. And this new incinerator has an emission of 50 milligrams of dust. The municipal incinerator built 17 years ago has an emission of less than 1 milligram, less than 50 times less than the other one. And the 50 milligrams biomass incinerator has been accepted because this is biomass. The other one is waste. It shows us something about how we accept different technologies. What is the result of this flue gas cleaning? Now, green is 1930, yellow 1970, red is 1995, and this is the reduction. And you see that on such a scale, you don't see anything anymore for 1995, so we have to change the scale. I go to a log scale, and you see that the particulates are reduced by 1, 2, 3, 4, by 10,000 times compared to 1930. So this is an absolutely success story. I have been part of this story because in the 70s I was heavily opposing municipal incinerators. And we were discussing with the chemical industry, with the government, what can we do technically? And none of the members of the discussions at the time thought it would be possible to come down to such low concentrations. It's a real technical revolution, which has taken place only in waste management. No other plant is cleaning its effluents so highly as a solid waste incinerator. Today, it's important to keep that low, to be that low. Because if we are on that level, then we can say this is environmentally compatible. Okay, of course, there are other consequences, and incineration is just one part of waste management. It's an important part because in incineration you can handle all the toxic organic materials. All the toxic organic materials. But of course we have valuable materials like cellulosic fibers. Cellulosic fibers, and here we have the paper cycle of Austria. It's very efficient and it's very economic to cycle our cellulose. I'm not going into the details. Or here we have plastic materials. Has anybody a laser pointer? Anybody a laser pointer? No laser pointer. Okay. You see the box raccolta, trasporto e selezione. That's the waste management box. And in this waste management box, 700,000 tons go into this box. And mainly 600,000 go straight to the landfill. This is Austria 1995. Austria 1995. So the Austrians, in the year of 1995, buried 600,000 tons of raw oil, crude oil, in their landfills. That's just plain stupid, you know. So we in Austria made a regulation to separately collect packaging plastic. Packaging plastic. And Austrians really helped to implement this packaging ordinance. And what was the result? The result was that 50,000 tons, 49,000 on the left-hand side, 49 rifiuti. This is the packaging plastic, which we then recycle. Very ineffective. Very ineffective. Why? Because if you don't do this whole picture, if you don't know the whole